Hi guys, my name is Emily DeSimone with the Garden State Film Festival, and here with me today I've got a lineup. I've got Anthony Carvello, the director of The Decision. Chris Omar was the producer. Joshua Perez was the photography director. Paul Fagione was starring in with Stuart Chirichella, who was also the writer of this film. Guys, how are you all doing today?
Okay, great.
Good. How are you?
Really well.
I'm doing great. Hopefully I introduced everybody correctly, right? Because we practiced a few times. Awesome. So, alrighty. So as we get started and I jump in to asking a few questions, Anthony, you directed this, and Stuart, you wrote this. Would you guys like to let our live viewers know a bit about the film and the directing and writing, like what went into the idea of the film?
Well, how you doing? First of all, I just thank you for inviting us. We appreciate that. And how the film came about, me and Paul Fagione, who plays John Gotti, we were cast in CNBC's Empires of New York in 2019 by director Matthew Galkin. And we spent a few days together on a set. And me and Paul always talked about doing the film together. We did, the topic stuck with us. We always talked about Sammy the Bull and John Gotti. And after doing so much research, I said, you know what, Paul, we got to put a little short together. Finally, I just sat down, put pen to paper, and, I got excited about it, and I was blessed to have Anthony be a part of it and come on. I wanted actually Anthony to act in the beginning, but Anthony took the director's ranks like a real pro, and he just really made my life easy. And also Anthony wrote, he adjusted a lot of the script too. He tailored it. So he really did a good job in that aspect also. So that's how basically the film came about.
Awesome. So what inspired your writing for this film?
Well, I was intrigued by Sammy the Bull. I mean, I hate to say I'm intrigued by a serial killer, but like Sammy just had that, like, I was always intrigued by people who could just turn that on and off, like kill somebody, go get go eat dinner afterwards, or just go spend time with the family. The mob itself, because I grew up, I kind of grew up around a mob town. I'm born and raised in Hoboken, New Jersey. So I was always intrigued by the aspect of people, how they just turn that on and off, and then you see them on the street and they're always smiling and having a good time, But at the end of the day, like I just loved the character, I just loved it.
And Anthony, was this your first time directing?
It was my first time directing. I met up with Stu at a location that he had access to and had some ideas, and we were just talking about the film. I had no plans of coming on board, and we were talking about how to potentially shoot it and just some ideas creatively to get some looks and some angles and some different shot ideas, and talking about the script and how to make it a little more humanizing. And through the conversation, he just looked at me at one point and said, "All right, you're directing it." And I was like, I am. I don't. I'm an actor. I'm an actor, and my experience is in front of the screen. But when he asked me to direct, I thought, okay, well, this is a great opportunity to get behind the screen, get behind the camera, and work with actors in this way. And so it was really an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful to Stu for offering me the opportunity to share in the process and telling the story.
Well, congratulations on your first directed work, making it into the Garden State Film Festival. So, Chris, you produced this. Was this your first producing work?
This is not my first producing work, no. I don't know how many times I've produced things before, but I mean, Anthony and I have worked together. I directed him in one of my thesis films from college when I went to school at Brooklyn College. And Anthony basically brought me on and he wanted me to shoot this. And I was like, I have a friend who could shoot. And that's why I kind of tagged in Josh. And I just want to focus on producing. So I really was acting as producer as well as the assistant director on set, just making sure that the day went along smoothly.
That's awesome. And so is this your first time with the Garden State? Or
correct. Yeah, this is the first time we've submitted to Garden State. And
well,
we're ecstatic.
On your first producing work, making it in. And Joshua, you were the photography. I keep saying it wrong, and I apologize. Photography.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you let us know what that entails for someone like me that isn't as familiar with that position?
Yeah. I mean, for a project like this, it's like a smaller scale, kind of like one day like just trying to get as much as we can in a single day project. It really just entailed bringing in a few guys on crew, like a couple guys to basically do the lighting, the electric, and the grip, and set up stands and try to create a look for what it was that Anthony and Stu wanted to create. It's kind of hard to describe. We just went in there and tried to just shoot as much as possible, get as much content, try to cover the script and get as much coverage of of all the dialogue as we can, and then have them piece it together in post.
And I also just want to say and add into that, we had a great script written by Stu, great acting by Paul and Stu, and I would say okay directing, but without Josh and without the work that he brought in, I don't think this film looks the way it does. I don't think that it sounds the way it does. I don't think that it's lit the way it needed to be, and I don't think it would have come out the way it did. So Josh, literally without Josh, we don't have this film. So truly instrumental.
So Josh, would you say that you're like the cinematographer?
Yeah, I was the cinematographer. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of they're kind of interchangeable, director of photography and cinematographer. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Just to reiterate what Anthony said, Josh was so on point. I mean, Josh knew the lines. Josh was telling us what we had like. That's how on point this man was. He was a soldier. Really, it's a blessing to have him there.
It was a lot of fun.
Everybody was, on point. It was, I think it was amazing the way we all clicked together. This is the first time I'm working with Anthony, Josh, and Chris. But Stu and I, we had amazing chemistry together from the moment I met him on Empires of New York, where we both were cast. And it was just, but working with these guys, building up to it, Stu was saying, "Oh, we have something here. This is great." And I had no idea. But when I went out to the set with these guys, and everything was so professional, and seeing the final product, I was amazed. I was completely dumbfounded on what to say. Stu was 100% right. He did everything the way he said he was going to do, and it came out. I think it came out phenomenal.
How is it that the five of you came together? Like, how did you find each other for this film?
Well, this is all Stu.
No,
when I
sorry.
No, when we first met, Stu and I first met, like I said, on the set of Empires of New York, we were a little upset that on the camera time that we got. Even me being the quote the lead, I really wasn't happy with the camera time that I got, and neither was Stu. And from then on, we were talking about doing something, and I said, okay, we'll come up with something, and we'll discuss it. And when I first read the script, I said, this is unbelievable, because no one's really touched on the conversation that might have been with John Gotti and Sammy the Bull. They touched on it, but they never really went into depth the way we did. And it came out. It came out flawless, I think. Everybody that I see, like my wife and the family members that I showed it to, they were flabbergasted. They didn't know what to say. They want more.
Well, so the two of you met on the Empires of New York, and how'd the rest of you guys all come?
I met Paul. I've known Anthony for a while as an actor. Me and Anthony have known each other for a little while now, and the blessing came from Anthony, really, because like he introduced me to Chris. All Chris was there, and not to underestimate what Chris did that day. Chris was like, he held it all together too. And then to Chris, knowing Josh, and then and just it all the pieces just fell together in the puzzle. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll say that I met Chris. I met Chris about 3.5 years ago. I auditioned for his thesis film when he was still a student at Brooklyn College, and his thesis film actually won Audience Choice Award at Brooklyn College. It's called Young Kanye, or 808s and Roommates.
808s and Roommates, yeah.
808s and Roommates, and I portrayed a aspiring music producer that had an obsession with Kanye West. and it's still to this day one of my favorite films I worked on, next to The Decision. And on that, Chris and I maintained a great relationship working on that project, and Josh as well. Josh was the director of photography or the cinematographer on that project, and we've all just maintained a really tight relationship since that experience. And it's been really great to have collaborators to work together on things and continue to throw ideas at one another and share in this process and this journey as artists. And we still have many more stories to tell, all of us respectively and hopefully collectively. So it's a real blessing when you get to connect with other creatives that have similar visions and their own unique vision, and we can contribute to one another's vision in that way. And so that's how we all know each other and keep connected.
And when did you guys film this?
We filmed this in March of 2022. I believe it was March 5th or 6th. It was literally one day of filming. One day.
Really?
Which is, when you say it like that, it was quite a feat to get done. It was quite a feat to get done. Again, that's why, having Josh on board and having Chris as the glue and having two actors that were prepared emotionally and were prepared to know that knew their lines and came in as professionals. That's why you can do something like this in one day. Otherwise, I don't think that you can get the coverage that we got in one day unless you have a DP with the level of talent that Josh has, unless you have a producer that's keeping it all tight and glued together and working as an AD like Chris did. And if you don't have actors that know their stuff and are open, really more importantly, open, because you can know your lines and have ideas and come in, but if you're not open to direction, you're kind of doing it one note. And both Paul and Stu were ready to work and were open. And that's why it happened in one day.
And who heard of the Garden State Film Festival and decided to submit?
I think all of us together.
Anthony and I basically did some research on some realistic reach in terms of like what festivals we could probably get into and really make a good festival run out of this. Stu was, throwing Tribeca and all these things, and we basically came with a list. We submitted to Tribeca as well. We'll see what happens there, but we created a list of 5 festivals we wanted to. And given that it was a homegrown short, it was all filmed in Hoboken, New Jersey at City Hall, actually, which was an amazing location we had access to. We thought Garden State Film Festival would be perfect for it, so we were super excited. And to get that acceptance letter it made our new year, honestly.
Well, congratulations on being accepted. Are you guys all going to be there in person?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be there.
I'm so excited. All in person. That's going to be such a blast. So what is it you want all of your live viewers to take from watching your film?
Stu.
Well, I mean, what they're going to take is hopefully what the youth will take out of it, which I've seen a lot of people personally go down this road. And then older in life, I know guys from my neighborhood that they had to actually go and do time when they were in their 60s. So, like, at the end of the day, like, the lifestyle, what I would hope they take is a positive message, because the lifestyle ain't working. There's no friends in it, and like, everybody's going to turn on each other eventually. So, at the end of the day, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort you put into that type of lifestyle, period, end of story. That's what I hope that people take away from that.
Fantastic. I mean, what about the rest of you? What did the storyline of the film mean to you?
Well, I think it's two people coming together, two human beings coming together, and they're both looking to get out of the predicament that they're in. And when they come together, the friendship, I think, the underlying reasons that they're there, the friendship goes out the window. And they're both looking to get out of this predicament that they're in, and eventually one of them does. And but they're both fighting for their lives, and you could see that from what you know about the two men, that they were pretty scared of the outcome of what was going to happen to them, and they had to do what they had to do, And that's what really the story is about. And like I said, nobody's really touched on this before. So I think people are going to really enjoy watching these two guys communicate with each other and try to, play that so-called chess game to make the other one do what they want.
Well said. Well said.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining with me today and getting to talk to our live viewers. Everybody, you can see the film The Decision on Saturday, March 25th at the Jersey Shore Arts Center from 8:30 p.m. to 10:45 p.m. Again, I so look forward to seeing you guys all in person. I know all of our live viewers are going to have a blast. You seem like such a great bunch to get to meet in person as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.